Is he 36?
Yeah. So
You saw him. He doesn't look 36. No, we don't.
so I think it's important. What I love about this whole summit is it's a legacy summit. And that was the process that we just went through, is looking at our legacy and how that's going to go forward. And I was telling my son as we were sitting there, you're 36 years old, you own a house, but you should do this as well. Start your legacy now because you have assets. And I remember hearing a long time ago, like if you have a car and you're 36, it's an asset, do it now. So I think it's a good opportunity for us to think about of legacies and moving forward.
And then that's a great tie-in. So how do you guys like? What does the concept of generational wealth bring up for you guys in regard to this?
Well, I mean, in regards to just how we feel about Altadena, our kids were raised in Altadena, and our son wanted to live in Altadena, and he bought a house 4 years ago. Um, and even though he didn't lose his house, and we did, uh, we realized that we had already put him, we had already inspired him to be a homeowner in Altadena. So we've been hearing people talk about generational wealth in Altadena. And in fact, when we woke up today, we said, "Oh, we already have that. We're the beginning of it."
Generational wealth is so important because it means that wherever your children are, they'll be in a better position than when we started out. And so I think it's important for them to know that it exists and that they should also be thinking about their own legacies and how they're going to make generational wealth. We don't have any grandkids yet, so it's like, hey.
But it makes you think about grandkids.
It does. It makes you think about them. But in terms of the summit, I think it's we want to make sure that we can keep um, the community together, and that's what I believe we're trying to build with generational wealth, is let our next generation know that this is for you and that you have to then pay it forward so that we have deep roots in the community, and that the system that might not have been before us is now in front of us. I think that's important.
That's a great way you said that. It's beautiful. Lastly, how did you feel about working with NHS? Like, what was your experience like, and how was your impact?
Well, we couldn't. First of all, we couldn't believe when we went to the event at the Hilton. We couldn't believe when they offered a free estate planning, and I mean, it has been prohibitive at times to us. We put it off because, oh, do we have that money to spend right now on that?
Yeah.
Even though we knew it was important. So the fact that it was offered to us, we jumped on it right away, and we have filled with gratitude because of that.
And I think
so
that
important.
I think that it gives you a different sense of value, even for yourself and your property and your legacy, because it really, NHS has from the beginning, since we've met NHS, which is about 20 years ago, when we decided we wanted to buy a house, and our realtor said, "Are you ready?" And we're like, "Yeah, we're ready." And she said, "Well, maybe you need to go to NHS and get educated about what it means to be a homeowner." Because we literally thought down payment, get a mortgage, and keep on tipping. And so when we went to NHS, we were clearly educated on the value of good credit, how to interest rates, what they mean, the different kinds of mortgages. So we were educated, and we felt that that put us at an advantage in over a lot of our friends, and we were able to secure a home because of NHS. And that home in Altadena, unfortunately, perished in the fire, but NHS is still alive, still helping people think about wealth in a way that we were not taught to think about wealth. So to think about home ownership, to think about legacy, to think about things like, what it means to have a will and testament. And that's so important because we don't learn those things in school. We don't learn about that. We don't learn about, my parents didn't tell me about that. And it wasn't until my parents got old and somebody told them. And then, you know, by the time they got it together, they were gone. So I think that that's the value of neighborhood housing is that it puts an exclamation point on us as people of color to help us understand the system, that we're really can be part of a system and that they can assist us in that. That makes sense?
I have one other take too. I feel like the estate planning, because we haven't rebuilt our house yet, it has already it has placed the value on the house. In other words, we know the house is an asset, right? We all know that economically. But having done the estate now and put it in place, now the value of that house is already going forward, and it hasn't even been built yet.
So look toward the future.
Right.
And this whole thing is look toward the future, even if the future doesn't include us, right? That's what legacy is about.
And the reason why I told you that we bought the house because of NHS in the first place, it was at a time when everybody was losing their homes that we bought our house. The bubble had burst, and we had friends who were in foreclosure, and we went against the tide. So I make a connection. We're rebuilding. We almost feel like that's against the tide too, because we do have friends who are cashing out and don't want to rebuild. So for me, NHS is somehow, entwined in all of that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
You see that point?
Oh, I certainly do. It's actually it's yeah, look toward the future and the value that we might not see it. Like if you go up to Altadena right now, you see an empty lot, lots of empty lots. But knowing that that empty lot is going to have future value is kind of a permanence that we didn't have before. So it's positive.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
It was a beautiful
Thank you.
Thank you.